Zazoo.
Biza.
This song is like a street song, like a proper street song.
Bro, it's so amazing that one of the biggest heartbeats of Nigerian pop culture since 1999 has been the streets. But the points have changed over time. At some point, it was Ajigore. I think the first 99 would be like the turning point for Nigerian pop culture, like in terms of sound and contemporary phenomena, right? So in the earlier parts, it was Ajigore, like the galala, the contour, the sounds, the dance, the style, like all the way down to African Stereo Man, all those people. But then the sounds sort of changed. I mean, the point sort of changed. Then it became like Iju Shaga for a while, right? So them Terry G and them others, Scalimenta, all those people. Now then it became Agege, right? But the one thing that you can't deny is that as much as Lekki people think they are cool, they have not really created anything. You understand? Like, the people that are still coming up with things that change Nigeria, that impact pop culture, is still the streets. All the dance that you're dancing, all the sounds that you're dancing. The streets, bro. Hype men, the streets. Bobby Banks, I got additional Balaba is from Mushin. So you can hide in your Lekki, I think your Lekki flood. Can be talking from there. But at the end of the day, you have not created anything. You tried to create a hotel. Shout out to your hotel, was fantastic. Taught us a lot of things about Nigerian music. But at the end of the day, not exactly. Do you want to compare it? Mariah Carey is doing You Want to Bamba. Yeah, bro. Mariah Carey did You Want to Bamba. Everybody was doing it across the world. So when you create something like that, let me know. The streets, you can't change it. It's either you want to understand that or not. Simple.
But why do you think Zazoo blew up?
Zazoo blew up for a combination of reasons. One, the delivery of that record sounds like a Fuji delivery. The sound is fantastic and has the soul of hip-hop, right? So right now, the current dispensation that we have is the era of pop music. We've always been a pop music market, but right now it's way more dominant than ever because it's not just Nigeria, it's not just the home front anymore, it's now gone foreign because of TikTok, the internet, and now because major labels are now investing in it, right? And then, you remember an episode we did about Fuji artists back then, about 2 months ago, where we were saying that the reason why, when our parents were young, the artists their version of pop was Fuji, Akbala, all these genres, right? I mean, disco was good, and disco, electropop, they had their moments, but you couldn't compare the success of those things to the success of like Afro Juju, Shinomania, Ace. You couldn't compare to the success of those albums. Or Sonia D, right? The difference now is that with the era of hip-hop and R&B, everything changed in Nigeria. A lot of the boys that you're seeing now, if they existed in the 80s, they would have been doing Fuji at the time. Mohbad. Look at how those boys are singing. Mohbad, Bella Shmurda. Look at the way they manipulate their voice. They sound like Fuji artists, Fuji and Akbala artists. That's how they sound like. So that record is a unifier of demographics when you look at it critically, because it's 3 things. It's the element of Fuji delivered in pop version, spoken through the technique of hip hop. Bro, that is a unifier on all fronts. There is no way that record is not going to blow. None. And the rudimentary nature of Nigeria as we are, bro, mental health and LGBTQ is not what they're talking about in Agege. Do you know that's not what Nigerian pop culture, as much as it will be, as much as it's a necessary conversation, most of Nigeria don't care about that. They don't even believe in it. You know what's Nigerian reality? Baraga and beer. Whiskey and vodka is not Nigerian pop culture. Jedi, Ogidiga, or what's the name of this one? There's one that they're drinking now, I can't remember. That is Nigerian pop culture, not Lekki. So the things that these guys are saying is the Nigerian reality. See, the things, the language they're speaking, the things that they're saying, the way they're saying them, Even if you don't understand the language that they're delivering it with, you are going to love it. Like, it's the Nigerian elements basically oozing out of these things. It's why you and I, we are Yoruba people, we are going to like levels. We don't understand the word in it, but the essence resonates with you in a different way entirely. That's why people aspire to do things that they don't even understand, because music is spiritual. And especially when it comes from a place that is yours, it's going to relate to you on another level. And make no mistake, these guys are speaking the Nigerian pop culture. Fam, these guys are bringing real life into music, and that's why Nigerian hip-hop is going to continue to struggle. These guys represent the real hip-hop. They're the ones that speak, they're the ones that have the crew, they're the ones that dress, that they are creating fashion trends, they're the ones that have the slangs, they're the ones that have the gangoti, the street oti, they're the ones that have the violence, they're the ones that have everything. So look, listen to that record, bro. The adlibs. The adlibs. Before you look at anywhere, someone is going to be saying pizza tomorrow. That's how it goes. Just like factory fitted full option, double silencer, it's a thing now. Factory fitted full option, double silencer. Someone will just post picture, you see factory fitted full option, double silencer. It's what it is. That's Nigerian pop culture. And that is why Nigerian hip-hop will continue to struggle. Because if I can come and I can give, we've been saying these things for eons. Nigerian hip-hop is too cool. Nigerian hip-hop is too clean. It's not the Nigerian spirit. You sound smart, but most of Nigeria is not smart. You are delivering bars. Most of Nigeria, like, don't get me wrong, these people on the streets listen to hip-hop. Like, Lil Durk is one of their favorite artists. But fam, they'll prefer to listen to that type of music from Lil Durk than you. Because they know that that's Lil Durk's reality. Their own reality is what they want to hear from you, that you're Nigerian. So you can't give them what Lil Durk is giving them on the same level, and you don't market it the same Lil Durk is marketing it to them with the same visibility, then they're probably not going to relate to you. Bro, there is no... Listen to what... A lot of people are going to say that the Olamide part is what they really like on Zazoo. But my guy, I feel like because people don't know Portable, that's why they're saying that. Because personally, bro, that shit is like drugs to me. I'm not even saying that I'm from the streets, but bro, I didn't grow up in affluence. That's like most people, the rich in Nigeria is the top 1%. Most of us are from middle class to lower middle class to lower class backgrounds. We are from those things. And we cannot... I don't have to grow up in that to feel that. That guy said, music, I do music for a living, or in the finger. Bro, you have to... You go look and say, Like, the way I felt is probably the way someone in Mushin is going to feel what that guy is saying. So, the thing about Nigerian music is, if Nigerian hip-hop can't produce things that the streets can feel on that level, it's not going to work. There's a reason why Nigerian rappers will rap. It's their commercial records that blow up. There's a reason for that. Or the dance tracks. Because if you're not going to give me something to talk about, then give me something to dance to. And another thing about people is, a lot of people that are criticizing these things, they just don't get it, and it's fine. Do you understand? Like, a lot of people that don't like Naira Marley, they think I hype men are Raz, they think this record is Raz. It's fine. It's a thing of preference and bias. You don't have to get it. But the thing is, for you to have a conversation around Nigerian music, you have to understand Nigerian music at all levels. Me, I understand why you don't get it. But do you understand why you don't get it? Do you understand what I mean? I understand why you don't get it, because it's not who you are. But you then have to understand that, not say it's trash. Sometimes something is not trash. It's just not for you. You just don't get it.
Essentially, these guys are selling representation and relatability.
Thank you. And at the end of the day, if people from your demographic are still getting these guys because it's aspirational, not because the record is blowing up. I mean, the record is blowing up is a thing. If you listen to something that is popular for long enough, you're going to relate with it. But essentially, a lot of people listen to this thing immediately. Fam, I was speaking to the head of, to the co-founder of Audio Mag the day this record dropped. I said it on the previous episode. This record was gaining about 3,000 likes 3,000 listens every 20 seconds, every 30 seconds. Let me just approximate like that. It was crazy. Literally, you're not doing work. And you telling me that only Ras people are streaming it there? No, it's not.
See some white people joining the challenges too.
Bro, the people that focus dance, the people that made focus dance to be popular are not Ras people. They're regular Nigerians. It's aspirational because at the end of the day, it's who you are. So when you bring back to the conversation of hip-hop, hip-hop is not, you are not doing anything that makes people aspire to become like you. Makes the larger market to aspire to become like you. Inspire some other people with your brilliance. Inspire me because I understand what you're doing. But at the end of the day, my guy, if you're not saying bizarre, if you're not telling me trabaye, bro, forget it. There's a reason why Mubad is going to blow up because it's going to give you Kupoke, OPP, OPG. Bro, you go feel am. I'm not even saying it's about slangs alone. It's about the mannerism. It's about the way the guy looks. It's about how the guy carries himself. Some of your rappers are too clean. That's all.
Interesting. But do you think Nigerian hip-hop is going to have its essence moments?
I wouldn't say essence moment per se. I would actually say more like a love one city moment. I think that's what Nigerian hip-hop might have. And in this world right now, we can't say anything is impossible anymore. Nothing is impossible. And going forward, what we're going to be seeing is records that might not be big here, but be big outside the country. Especially in Europe and the West. We're going to see a lot of that going forward, right? Because the way people are going to be pushing certain records will be different. And some of them will not push those records on the home front. Do you understand? They will not push those records on the home front because they can't make money here because consumer behavior here is trash, because internet penetration here is subpar, because internet is expensive. So you are going to push it there because you want to make more money. So we might see a hip-hop record, definitely hip-hop record, not be big here, but catch fire outside the country and chart. It's possible. Someone might decide to put a budget behind it and put it on TikTok and it might explode. But what we're likely to see is more from the angle of trap and drill. It's more likely that we'll see it from quintessential hip hop. We are more likely to see someone like maybe a Psycho IP or whoever is there, or maybe all these other boys that are doing trap and drill in the country. We are more likely to see those boys that are likely to see. If we are going to go by what is the standard, what obtains in the world right now, because let's look at the charts over the past 3 years, since 2 years since TikTok became a thing. How many hip-hop records, street sense, have you seen that have not been trap or drill gets charts as high as the top 20, top 30 on the Billboard Hot 100? How many? Not a lot, bro. Not a lot. On Stormzy's last album in the UK, the biggest record from this was Own It, which was a pop record, not a rap record. My niggas don't die with the Vossi Bob, yeah. Vossi Bob had the bop, but Vossi Bob might have sound like a little bit, but bro, that record had the bop that sounds like something that's more contemporary. It didn't sound like boom bap. So it's not impossible for those things to happen. But what I'm saying is, it's more likely to be a love wanting thing that we didn't see coming. That just goes from 0 to 1 million. It's not impossible. I wouldn't say essence. I'll say more like a love wanting moment. And it's likely to come from trap and drill boys, basically.
Interesting.
So the Nigerian version of the street boys are the trap boys in the US or the drill boys in the UK. Just like the Nigerian version of the Yahoo boy is probably the drug dealer. Just like the Nigerian version of the Bloods or the Pyrus would probably be the street gangs, Axe, or these boys, right? There's equivalence everywhere because the common denominator to all these boys is they are from inner city struggles, they are from dysfunctional homes, they are from a lot of poverty, and most of them didn't think they were going to make anything out of life. Look at what Kendrick Lamar said in Black Boy Fly. He said, niggas like him never prosper, prognosis. That's what he said. Niggas like these guys never prosper, and they know it. That's why a lot of them choose a life that they live lives, they pick role models that make it out. Do you understand? They don't care how they make it out. They just make it out. Most of their heroes are gang members, they're Yahoo boys. And these guys just want to make it out. They want to be like those guys. Those are their heroes, not lawyers, not doctors. That's what they want to be. So, bringing it back to this conversation is trap artists and Nigerian street artists. A lot of them don't expect to make it. So when they make it, they get lost in the sauce. Fam, it's very difficult. I was reading a quote this morning from, I think, Akin Alabi. It was something like, getting rich is hard, but staying rich is harder. Yeah, that was what he said. These guys, when they make the money, as the regular human being, even when you get successful, bro, to stay hungry, it is very tough. It's very, very tough. Now imagine it from the perspective of someone who never thought they were going to make it. Bro, it's difficult for you. You came from seeing less than 1,000 a day to going up to seeing like maybe 3 million a show. It's difficult to stay hungry. Some people are the exception that they are built different. People like Olamide, Zlatan, Naira Marley, Reminisce. There are people that can stay the length of the course because you can start all of these guys that I mentioned, they're different. Most of them have gone on to found record labels, build sustainable businesses, branch out into some other thing. Reminisce has a radio show now. If Reminisce talks to you, you are going to say that this is a very, very smart person. Like, you know that they're different. But most of these other boys, you can't blame them because for getting lost in the sauce, it is tough. Like, when you don't think you are going to make something out of your life and you make it, two things can happen. It's more likely that you're going to stay there and get lost in it, or you say, man, I want more. I want more of this. I don't want my children to live like me. So it's difficult for these guys to stay on that level. It is very, very difficult. And people need to understand that. It is very difficult. So that's why most of them end up being one-hit wonders. Most of them. And let's not even lie to ourselves. Until recently, a lot of Nigerian businesses didn't believe in these boys. They believe in the cool artists that they could market and sell outside the country. People who could express themselves. So it's not just about being an artist anymore, it's about the branding. What can you say? How can you say it? Do you understand? How can you appear? Is this something that we can sell? Is this something that the white man or the white parts of foreign countries will be able to relate with? So those are the things you have to look out for.
Do you think these guys have a scene?
Before you could say that, but a lot of people have been proving that they might not. See, love wanting things is as proved that almost anything is possible now these days. Anything, just about anything. Minus love wanting, the fact that BTS is succeeding, they had like 4 back-to-back #1 hits in the US in 2021. It shows that there are no ceilings anymore, bro. There are no ceilings anymore. The only ceiling that's for anybody right now is themselves, and maybe if things just don't work out for them.
So you don't think like language is a thing?
No, it's not. Bro, Latin pop artists are going to succeed in the US because there are Latin pop communities that can make things thrive. Man, knows that Spanish is a more obtainable language than Yoruba. Do you understand? Globally. So if I can rap in the derivative of Spanish, there's a higher chance that a lot of people across the world, in America, for example, are going to be interested in what I'm saying than someone who's Yoruba and looks different. You understand what I mean? Like Yoruba is not a lingua franca. Spanish is a lingua franca spoken by different countries across the world. There are different forms of Spanish. They understand by different people. Now, imagine, so if people are making music in that language, it's going to be easy for Americans to teach Spanish in school. How many people are teaching Yoruba, understand Yoruba, are teaching Yoruba? They're not teaching Yoruba in American school. They're not teaching Igbo there. They're not teaching Swahili there. Maybe they are, but it's not exactly as big or as desirable as Spanish. But right now, what we are saying is, my baby, my Valentine, Chike made people sing in Igbo last year, bro. Made people sing in Igbo. Olamide's Infinity was the biggest song in Kenya in 2021 on Apple Music. Oya take Kalawuska, cover me like Babuska. Bro. So it's not exactly a limitation anymore. Language isn't.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not.
So opinions have started to come in like they usually do.
Yeah.
And some people are saying Portable needs to rebrand.
Yeah.
Needs a rebrand. Do you think it needs to change?
No, bro. Portable's audience is basically Nigeria right now, man. It's basically in Nigeria right now. And the brand is that it looks different. It doesn't look like everybody else. So the moment to change that, you are forcing him to conform. I mean, if you understand the brand sometimes, he might need to change. But the brand is that he stands out. He's different. He looks like he's not from where you know. And that's the brand. Until further notice, that should remain the brand. So right now, it doesn't need to change anything. The moment to change it, the branding is subconscious for a lot of people. The moment to change these things, it's going to register differently in people's heads, and people that relate with him might find it hard to read because it's going to look like something that they already recognize, and it's not going to stand out anymore. So you don't want to do that. As for people that are saying he's probably a one-hit wonder, maybe he is. A lot of people like him usually are. But these days, you just never know. And that's facts only.